Hey everyone, welcome back. So I welcome you all to this video, and today in this video we are going to discuss about left anti and right anti join. In the last video we have discussed about the right outer join. Now in this video we are going to talk about left and right anti join. So first of all I will open Power Query Editor. So I'll simply click here on transform data, and this opens Power Query Editor for us. And the tables that we are going to use in order to represent, in order to show an example of how the result will be formed when we apply left and right anti-join. So we'll be using two tables. So the very first table is all student details table, and the second table is student marks new table. So all student details table will be our left table or the first table, and you can see that these are the following columns that it has: ID, name, phone number, and address. And if I click on student marks new table, then you can see that here we have three columns, that is ID, subject, and marks. So let's simply select this all student details. All right. So in order to understand more about this, first of all, let's try to take an example and let's open PowerPoint presentation and let's see how it works and what is the concept behind this. So first of all, I will open PowerPoint presentation, and this is the data that we have. We have the left or the first table as this table, and we have right table or the second table as this table, and we will be using this example only to understand how left anti-join works, and then we will discuss about right anti-join. So I will simply select this 8 slide, Control D, and we'll move it here. All right, fine. And let's choose red color. So first of all, this is the left and the right table that we have, and we will be joining these two tables using this column, that is ID column. ID column is present in both the tables. Now we are going to discuss about left anti-join, and when we talk about left anti-join, then it refers to that there will be only those records in the output which are present only and only in the left table. The rows which are present only and only in the left table. So let's discuss. First of all, I will write on the second page left anti-join result and let's say in this example we want all the columns from both the tables to be present there in the output. So I will be writing the names of the columns of first table in red color. So ID, name, phone number, address. ID, name, phone number, address. And then we have, after address, we have ID, subject, and marks from second table. So I'll write it in black. ID, subject, and marks. All right. Sorry. All right. So first of all, if I will talk about this one that is present in the ID column in the left table. So since this one is also present in the ID column in the right table, in fact, it is present twice in the ID column in the right table. That's why we will not see the record corresponding to ID equal to 1 in the output, because it is present in both the tables. And we are talking about left anti-join. So left anti-join means only those records which are present only and only in the left table. So this record corresponding to 1 will not be present in the output for sure. If I'll talk about 2, then corresponding to this 2 present in the left table, we have 2 present in the right table as well. Although it is present once, but it is present there. So again, we will not see any record corresponding to ID value equal to 2 in the final result. Now, if I'll talk about 3, this 3 is present in the ID column only and only in the left table. That's why the record corresponding to this 3 ID value will be shown in the final output. So the output will be 3CZ, 3CZ, and address is CZ3, so CZ3. And since this 3 is not present in the ID column in the right table, therefore, corresponding to this record that is present in the final output, we will be having null values in all other columns that come from second table. So here we can write null, null, and null. This will be the final output. Now, If I will talk about this 6 and 15, so these two values, although they are present in the right table, in the ID column in the right table, but since these values are not present in the ID column in the left table, so they will not be a part of the output. They're certainly not going to be the part of the output. So they will not be present in the output. So this was all about left anti-join. This is how left anti-join is going to work. Now if I'll open Power BI desktop, and this is the Power Query editor. Now let's see how to apply this left anti-join in Power BI. So just simply click on the left table, that is all student details table. Then under this merge queries, let's click on merge queries as new because we do not want to disturb our original base table. So this is the first table of the left table that we have. I'll select ID column from this table. Then the next table that we are going to use is student marks new, and the join is going to be applied based on the condition of the ID column. And the join kind is going to be left empty, that is rows only in first. And it shows that the selection excludes 4 out of 7 records from the first table, right? So it is excluding some of the records because in the output and the final output, we will see only those records which are present only and only in the left table. So I will now simply click on OK. This is the final output that we have. And now we can define here that what are the columns that we want from the right table in the final output. So we can further click on expand button. And let's say this time we want ID, subjects and marks. We want all of them. So we just simply select all of them and click on OK. So now you can see that corresponding to all the columns obtained from the other table, that is the right table, we have null values here. All the columns are having null values. Why? Because left anti-join is applied. And for left anti-join, we say that only those records will be there in the output where we have values only and only in the left column. So values, you will see values in the left column, right? But corresponding to the records that you obtain only and only from the left table, the values in all the columns obtained from the right table will be having null values. That's why all of them are having null values. And we have already understood this using an example, right? We took the example on the PowerPoint presentation to understand this. If I will open this all student details table, and in the output, you can see that we have 5, 9, and 12, right? It means that these 3 IDs are present only and only in all student details table. So 5, 9, and 12 are present only and only in all student details table. If I open student marks new, then 1 is present, 2 is present, 3 is present, 4 is present. That's why 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 were eliminated from this particular table. They were not considered. And only output corresponding to 5, 9, and 12 was thrown or shown in the merge 1 final output. Now I'll just simply click on this new left anti-join table and I will rename it as, I'll double click and I'll rename it as left anti-join. Similarly, let's try to understand right anti-join. So first of all, we'll take an example to understand this. I'll open the presentation. Again, this is the same data that we are going to use. So I'll click on the 10th slide, Control D, and I'll move it here. And this is the data that we are going to use again. All right. Fine. So again, we are going to apply right anti-join. So here we are going to discuss about right anti-join result. In the final output or the final result, you will see only those records which are present only and only in the right table. So I'll be writing the, let's say in the output, we want all the columns in the output. So I'll be writing the names of the columns of the first table in red. So ID, name, phone number, address. ID, name, phone number. Then we have address. And from the second table, we have ID, subject, and marks. So let's write it in black. ID, subject, and marks. Okay. All right. Sorry. Fine. Now let's see how it works. So first of all, if I talk about this 1 in the ID column, so since this 1 is present in the ID column, in the right table and left table both, That's why it will not be a part of the output. Again, if I'll talk about this second one, this is present in ID column in the second table and it is present in first table as well. So again, this will also not be the part of the output. If I'll talk about this 2, it is present in the ID column of the right table, but it is present in the ID column of the left table as well. Again, that's why it will not be the part of the output. If I'll talk about this 6, then since this 6 is present only and only in the right table, that's why it will be present in the output, final output of the right anti-join. So we will simply click here on the output and we will write 6 math 78. So 6 math 78. And since corresponding to the 6, no values available in the ID column in the first table or the left table, so all the columns will be having value as null in the final output. So we can write null, 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 and null. Now again, if I'll talk about 15, then this 15 is available only and only in the right table, ID column of right table. That's why it will be present in the final output. So we will have 15 English 88. So in the output, we will be having 15 English 88. But since this 15 is not available in the ID column in the left table, so corresponding to this 15 in all the columns from the right table in the final output, you will see null values. So the output will be null, 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 and null. Now again, if I'll go back to the question, if I'll talk about this 3, then this 3 is present in the left table, but it is not present in the right table. While as per the definition of the right anti-join, only those records will be available in the final output which are present only and only in the right table. So again, this 3 will not be present and nothing will be present in the final output corresponding to this 3. So this is the final output and that's how it's going to look in case of right anti-join. If I will open Power BI, and here if we'll discuss about how this join works. So again, all student details table is the left table that we are going to use. So I'll simply click on it first of all. Then I'll click on the drop down, merge queries as new. Since we are going to use ID column based on which the joining operation is going to be performed, join operation is going to be performed. So I'll click on ID column. Then student marks new is going to be the second table or the right table. Now I'll click on ID column. And from the join kind, we are going to select right anti, that is rows only in the second. And it shows that the selection excludes 10 out of 12 rows from the second table. So let's see how the output looks. Simply click on OK. This is the output that we have. And if we will further expand this, let's say we want ID, subjects, and marks. We want all the columns. So I'll simply click on OK. So you can see that from the right table, we have only those records which are present only and only in the right table. And since these are the records which are present only and only in the right table, so corresponding to these records, all the columns from the left table are having null values in them, right? So if we have a look at ID number 6 and 15 from the right table, this was our right table. And here we have 6 and 15. So you can see 6 and 15 are available only and only in right table. If I'll go there to the left table, you cannot find 6 and 15 in the ID column, right? So that's why we were having null values corresponding to this, and we are having only those values in the output which are available only and only in the right table. So I will simply click here on the final output of right anti-join, and I'll double click in place of merge one, I'll write right anti-join. All right. So I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next session. We'll discuss about full outer join. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.